We have been married since 1965. We are still madly in love. We moved here in 2010. Ken had not been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, but there were changes in his personality and in his ability to manage our financial issues. One day, I found him in the den, looking in the phone book. He said, "Well, I'm sorry to tell you that we are going to have to file for bankruptcy." And I said, "What? This is shocking. This is absolutely shocking."
My 41st birthday is when I got my diagnosis. Mild cognitive impairment means that I probably will get Alzheimer's. I remember a lot of hopelessness, a lot of loneliness. Those first couple years after my diagnosis, I was in a really bad place. One day, because of the association, I was like, why not me? And that was when my story just changed.
This is a really incredibly isolating disease. It is the disease that no one should have to go through alone. I think it's so important that we get involved and say this isn't okay. We want to change this disease. We want to change the direction and the quality of life for people as they live longer.
Sometimes we forget that the patient's dementia is a disease. Alzheimer's and other dementias are a disease that can be treated. And people should not be treated differently just because of that. I've had plenty of stories on patients with different stages of the disease where I've seen that the way people treat them is very differently. And it shouldn't have to be like that. A lot of times it's just because of misinformation or lack of knowledge. And again, this is both in the community but also with healthcare providers. I decided to become a volunteer as a community educator in the Minnesota, North Dakota chapter of the Alzheimer's Association because, I grew up in a family where the spirit of helping others was very important. So I think that's something that I'm really passionate about, to participate in educating the community to try to change the way people are seen.
We have fantastic programs here at the Alzheimer's Association. We have about 120 support groups throughout Minnesota and North Dakota. Then we do lots of education within health systems, making sure doctors know how to diagnose, where to send people for help and resources. Then, of course, we have our advocacy efforts.
Ken and I decided to become advocates for the Alzheimer's Association, and our consultant impressed with us to have this acceptance to continue our love for one another. There still is a terrible stigma. At first, Ken said, "I feel like I have a big red A on my forehead." But when he was able to help others, that A disappeared and he became a whole person himself. Ken became a mentor to persons who called in to the Alzheimer's Association. I have been on a committee learning more about financial situations, and I know that our financial situation is not the only one, and so it can make a difference to people in many, many different situations.
I meet with our politicians and talk to them about putting money into research. That's one of my big pieces that I do now with the association. The association makes these things happen for families like mine. That's why this works. We change lives. The association changes lives.
We're really still scratching the surface for the number of people that we're able to serve. So the more people we get engaged in this organization and engaged in our mission, we will achieve that vision of a world without Alzheimer's disease much faster. We need all kinds of volunteers to be part of research to help us really change how we look at this disease and how we treat this disease.
The organization has given us hope. It's given us a will to live, a will to advocate.
They changed my life. Changed my family's life.